Hey all, I'm here with Dave Barnett with Elzetta Design. We're going to talk flashlights here for a moment. Dave, what do we got new for 2014?
A lot of cool stuff, Steve. You're familiar with our AVS high output heads. So you know that with that head, you've got 650 lumens on a 2-cell Bravo, 900 lumens on a 3-cell Charlie. It's also got our field replaceable optical lens. So with that, that gives us the ability to change that lens and have a radical different beam pattern. This is our standard lens, right? 900 lumens, concentrated beam, tremendous throw and intensity, project the light beam out to about 200 yards. Well, to change that, we simply unscrew this bezel. This one happens to be crenulated. We also have it in a smooth standard bezel. Take that lens out, take our new flood lens, and you notice 7/8 of an inch solid acrylic, same material from which shark tanks are made. Drop that right in, reinstall the bezel ring, and now we still have 900 lumens, but now it's going to be spread out in a very diffuse pattern, which is phenomenal for CQB, home defense, anything in close range.
So no hot spots.
Exactly. Hot spots eliminated. It's just a diffuse wall of light.
Very cool.
So that's coming out, makes our modular flashlights that much more modular.
Okay.
And then also this summer, very exciting, you know, we've got the 3-cell Charlie, 2-cell Bravo, you back it up, what comes next? Alpha, 1-cell. And here it is, here's the prototype. Looking at about 300 lumens out of this little midget. And this one's got our high-low, so it's got a real usable low beam of about 15 lumens. Great for most tasks, but boom, 300 lumens on command.
That's great light right there.
And this is going to be similar to our other ones in that you can have a standard smooth bezel. We've got a crenulated bezel ring you can put on there. This is our standard lens, or you can put in a flood lens. You can use any of our tail caps. The modularity goes there, high-low, high strobe, click, rotary, one of our remote tape switches with a 5 or 12-inch cable. So all just more and more options in the Elzetta family.
Outstanding. And is there going to be any sort of IR capability in the future?
Maybe in the future, not at this point. It's all white light, but as you know, we keep growing, keep expanding, who knows what comes next.
I think a lot of people have a misconception about what lumens are and panel power. Could you break it down a little bit for us, for those folks that don't know?
Steve, that's a real important point. As I demonstrated kind of the change in beam pattern on this 900 lumen Charlie, when I change the lens, it doesn't change the lumens. It's 900 lumens whether it's concentrated or diffuse. What it does change is what's called candela. And candela is intensity, or what most people would commonly call brightness. So a lot of people will make the common error of saying, oh, X number of lumens is too bright. Well, it's really a categorical error. It's kind of like saying 5 amps is too much voltage. It makes no sense. Right. It's a category error. So no matter which lens you put in, it changes the brightness, but it doesn't change the lumens. It just spreads it out. You can also kind of look at it like a fire hose. You can have, say, 20 gallons a minute coming through a hose. Well, I can have that in a concentrated stream that would knock you over, or I can have it in a big wide fan that you can bathe in. It's still the same amount of gallons per minute, but it's very different in the way it's discharged.
That's outstanding information. Good scientific education class right here. We're sitting here with Dave from Elzetta. And before we go, so are all the components of these flashlights fairly compatible? Like clips for your pocket, being able to use your light mount for your weapon mounted systems, things of that nature? What's compatible, what's not?
Just about everything is interchangeable.
Wow.
The current setup for Elzetta, we make 96 unique configurations, but those 96 configurations are all comprised of 15 basic components.
15.
Yeah. So you can put 15 components in your kit, and you basically have the capability of making 96 unique flashlights. Works out to about $8 a light when you look at the math
so you can tailor these guns pretty much any way you want.
Exactly.
That's outstanding.
The belt clip that you mentioned, we're coming out with this summer with the Alpha, but it will also fit the Charlie and the Bravo.
ABCs, baby.
A lot of people often ask us, what makes Elzetta flashlights just so durable, just so tough? And I already showed the 7/8 thick, solid acrylic optical lens. That's part of the secret sauce. But the other part is the fact that we use fully potted electronics. We use that term, a lot of people aren't familiar with it. What it means is the circuit boards that are in our flashlights, and if you're familiar with the circuit board, green piece of fiberglass, electrical components on it, very thin little solder joints made of tin lead. When those impact generally in a non-potted flashlight, and one of those little solder joints breaks, the whole flashlight becomes useless. Well, what we do is we fully pot the electronics. So around that circuit board, we pour in an epoxy compound, goes in thin like water, goes around every component, goes around every solder joint, and then it hardens up like concrete, ends up looking like this, and it keeps all of the components, all of the solder joints from shifting, moving, or breaking under tremendous impact. That's why we've had these flashlights drop 300 feet from a helicopter onto concrete, chip the concrete, and the flashlight still works. So I tell people, and it's true, we're not just a little bit tougher than other flashlights, we're orders of magnitude tougher than any other flashlight on the market, which is why we say, rightly so, Elzetta makes the toughest flashlights on the planet.